Welcome back to this episode of Mom Talk, and today we are answering y'all's questions. We put a little question box out on our stories, and y'all had some really good questions. We haven't had time to look over all of them, but we are going to get as many on this episode today as we can. Let me just start with, how did we meet? I feel like that's a good place to start.
That was a good one.
Somebody asked us that, and it was definitely at work.
Yeah.
I know we've mentioned that before.
Mm-hmm.
But you started at Eden in hospitality department.
I did. I was doing laundry.
And for anybody that doesn't know what that means, yes, laundry, dishes, keeping up like the whole building.
And back then, like cooking.
And let me tell y'all, Victoria was so dressed up for work.
Oh my gosh.
Like she was ready for her interview and ready to work. And how old were you when you started?
I was 16.
You were getting it.
Look at me go.
I know. So I was at the front. And I remember you being there, but I feel like the first time I talked to you is when you were having your gallbladder out.
It was. You came back there and showed me your stomach.
I was like, oh, this poor little babe has to have her gallbladder removed. I'm going to go show her my scars.
You did. It was so nice.
Was that helpful? Or you're like, that's so weird?
No, it was helpful.
Okay.
I mean, I was 16. I didn't know many people my age that had had the gallbladder taken out. Like, that doesn't happen at 16.
No, because I wasn't much older than you when I had mine out, and everybody was like, wait, are you sure this is why you're here? I'm like, pretty sure.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Pretty sure about that.
So I didn't really have anybody young or that I knew at all to talk to about a gallbladder. So that was super helpful.
It is. And like, however many years it's been since we've had it done, we can still compare. Like, do you think this is because our gallbladder's out?
Right.
Yeah. So we met there, and then you moved up front.
Yeah. One day you pulled me into a room.
Did I?
Yeah. And said, do you want to work up front?
What did you say?
I was like, yes.
This at all.
I was like, I don't know what I said, but yeah.
Wow. The rest is history, guys.
Yeah, so we met at work.
Yep.
When I was 16.
We've made this very clear, but I'm almost 10 years older than you.
So you were like 25.
So I know you were still in the back when I had Emma because of the Penny situation.
Yes, Penny called to let me know.
But what about Henry? Was I pregnant with Henry?
I was up front when you were pregnant with Henry, and you told me and another girl who used to work there on the same day.
Oh, right.
You were eating an Easy Mac for breakfast at 8 a.m.
That's right.
And you just so casually were like, well, if you couldn't tell by the fact I'm eating Easy Mac at 8 a.m., I'm pregnant.
It's, it's that time where you do want everybody to know, but like,
yeah.
Would I really be eating this at 8 o'clock if I wasn't? So I better say.
Yep. So yeah, I was up front for Henry.
And then that is where we currently still work.
That's still what we're doing.
There's another question on here, like, do you still have a day job?
Yes.
And yes, we both do. We both still work at Eden.
I am part-time now.
And I think I'm full-time. I can't listen. I know we brag about Eden all the time, but I just can't say enough good things about it and how they are just so great to work for. Mm-hmm. So I am currently able to, on my days, take my kids to school and pick them up.
Yes.
And then I work more on the days that they're with their dad, and then I work the weekends that they're with their dad. So maybe it shakes out to full-time, but I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
And then, you hear people say you're 9 to 5 and then you're 5 to 9. This is our 5 to 9, our weekends, and our Mondays off. We're always trying to prep and get our people in for interviews, and it's one of my favorite days because I get to
I know. We
chill
just
with
hang
Victoria.
out and talk.
Yeah, I'm like, well, we got to catch up first before we start recording.
Yeah.
But yes, we do still have a 9 to 5 at Eden. Okay, let's see here. Going on that question, it says, was there ever a point in y'all's friendship when you were both married or both single? Okay.
I really don't know.
I need a timeline on this.
Okay, when did you get divorced?
Okay, 2015, Henry was 2.
Okay, so Jarrett and I weren't even engaged then.
Okay.
So
but you were together.
Off and on.
Okay.
Yeah, we were probably single at some point together. We were definitely single at some point together.
Because we went down to...
We went out.
If Victoria and I remember going out together, we were single.
Yep.
But didn't we go to like Rivers and Spires or something downtown?
We did do that.
Because we got our...
The fortune teller.
Yes.
She was good.
We did that together, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but y'all were broken up at the time?
I think so.
I just want to pause right here. We need a whole episode on you and Jarrett one day. Y'all have a long history.
We do have quite the history. We're going to have to, you're right. Okay. We need an episode.
I do specifically remember him popping up at the end of the night on us.
Yeah.
Which was fine because I felt like we got escorted to our cars.
Thank you. And that's downtown Clarksville at what time?
Yeah, it was dark.
It was dark.
So, I don't know what we thought we were doing.
But yes.
Okay, yeah.
So, to answer the question, we were both single at some point, but we were never both married at some point.
Okay, no.
Because I got married in 2018.
Okay. I was going to say, and if you were single, it wasn't for very long, I don't feel like. Like, when you and Jarrett.
I mean, that's going to have its own episode.
Okay, we'll come back to that. On with Jarrett. Does he miss the fire department? Does he like teaching?
He likes teaching. We'll start with that one.
I want to know, like, obviously I know what a teacher's day looks like, but, like, what's his schedule? Does he get a planning period? What does he do? Okay.
So, I don't know the breakdown exactly, but he's teaching, I think, 4 fire science classes, and they're all at different levels. And then he has 2 lifetime wellness classes, which I think is kind of like PE.
Like a health and PE?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. What do you do in the fire science? Like, are we putting on gear, or are we just, like, reading the books?
Reading books, yes, but they have gear. They've got all the tools. They've got some more tools on the way. Like, it is a hands-on practical class, too. I mean, Jarrett's like, you have to know what tool I'm talking about before you can do the practical stuff, obviously. But, yeah, it's both.
Because I saw your video of the classroom. You need to post that so people see it. Like, it's huge.
Yeah, and he has 2 classrooms. So he has his classroom in the building, and then he has a portable outside, and that's where most of the gear and the tools and all that are.
Okay.
I mean, his classroom is very big, but, like, there's tons of hoses and tons of sets of gear, and that gear's heavy, and, like, air tanks, air packs, you know? It just takes up a lot of space.
And do you feel like the kids are, like, good because they want to learn this trade?
Yeah, I feel like most of them, he has said, are really good and pay attention. He doesn't really have trouble. There's one class that he's like, I mean, they had a sub for a whole year.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't have the consistency, and, you know, I'm sure they got bored last year. So he gets why they're a little rowdier than the rest, but
nobody's forced to be in this class.
No. And he's like, you know how Jarrett is. He's just so patient and nothing ruffles his feathers. So even a rowdy class, he's like, it's fine.
Okay, and tell us who the kids say he looks like, because I cannot remember, but it was so funny.
So, okay, what's his name? The soccer. Oh, Lionel Messi.
Okay.
Is that his first name? Did I make that up?
I really don't know.
Messi. So, I can see that one.
Okay, when you first said it, I was like, there's no way. And then you sent the picture. I was like, oh my gosh.
I know. I was like, oh, you do. And then, whatever Captain America's name is, like Steve Rogers, is that what Jarrett told me?
Okay.
Some little group of girls has called him that.
I can see that as well.
I don't really see Captain America quite as much.
But what a compliment.
But wow. Like, they're trying to get an A. So, no, he does like teaching. I don't think he misses everything about the fire department. I think, you know, he spent a third of his life with those people for 10 years. And I'm sure he does miss some of them. He's talked to some of them on the phone, texted some of them since then. He is a volunteer firefighter now, so I think that will hopefully be enough of an adrenaline rush and enough burning buildings.
Mm-hmm. Has he already gone out on a call?
He has. He went out to a house fire.
What does that look like when you're a volunteer? Like, does he have gear?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they give you gear.
Okay.
So he went to his first house fire, though, and he said, you know, he's had the city gear for 10 years. He's adjusted it to, like, what he knows he'll need where he needs it. Like, all of the pockets in the gear, he knows what tools are in it. And he's got his headlight in a certain spot and, like, all these different things that make it easier when you're in that situation. And he went to that first volunteer call, and, like, he's like, oh, I have none of my stuff that, like, I normally have in a house fire. You know, just, like, building up his gear with what he's used to.
So he can purchase those things. Is that what you're saying?
He can do, like, the headlight and stuff. Okay. And I don't know really how it works as far as tools go.
Right. What is the volunteer firefighter's job? Like, can you get there first? Like, it just depends on if you're closer than, like, them getting called downtown or what? So
the county doesn't have the city services.
So that's their job.
So, like, I live in the county. If my house caught on fire, the city is not coming.
I literally did not know that.
If your house catches on fire, the city is not coming to help you.
So I'm going to call Jarrett instead of 911?
You still call 911, but the volunteer, that's who's coming. Nobody else is coming. You're not getting the city of Clarksville. You're getting these
I truly had no idea.
Yeah, you're getting the volunteer station.
Okay.
And you better hope somebody's like there to get the truck. You better hope people show up because it's...
Is there somebody always at that station?
I don't know if somebody's always there or not. This is new to me too, so I don't really know all about it yet, but they get a notification on their phone. They have keys to the building, I guess keys to the truck, and they can drive the truck, and whoever's there hops on, and whoever's not there when the truck leaves like goes to the address and meets them there. But yeah.
This is fascinating.
Yeah. Just don't want your house to burn down is
Gosh.
moral of this story, Jordan.
That is.
Yeah.
I really had no idea.
Yeah. So he, I'm sure, misses it, and he likes being home every night. He likes being able to have a routine. It's really hard to have a consistent routine when you're gone every third day for 24 hours at a time.
Yeah.
And it's also nice that he just has, 2 jobs right now. He does this and he does real estate, and that's it. He doesn't work for his family anymore, which I think is really nice, just because anytime there's a family business, I think the family dynamic can get complicated when you have family members working together. Mm-hmm. So I think it's good for him. I think he does miss it a little bit more than he would admit.
I mean, I could see that, especially like you said, it's been part of his life for so long. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's a really great, I don't think compromise is the right word, but if his new job involves some sort of it, he's got that touch of it.
Yeah.
Okay, this question's funny. It said, is Jordan really that picky? Or do we just act? No, I am that picky.
No, that's the truth.
Like halfway through, Victoria was like, I don't know why we're finding all this weird stuff for you to try when you're already so picky. We could just give you anything.
I'm like, here's a strawberry.
No, really. A tomato, a strawberry, like.
Yeah. So I've really just been doing too much on finding the foods. She is that picky.
People at work now bring me stuff to try.
I know, I love it.
Me too. But yeah, unfortunately, I am that picky. I eat like a kid. Like kid menu, Lunchable type situation. Mm-hmm. That's my...
But you do like some random stuff that just like I would never think you would like because of how picky you are. Like, what was it the other day? You liked something and I just could not even believe it.
I don't know. Was it sushi?
Maybe. I do think that is so weird that you're so picky and then sushi, yes, is a win.
I'm like, let me try the most plain sushi they have and see if I like it.
And then you did?
Yeah.
Do you do soy on yours?
No.
I drown everything in soy.
No, not soy sauce. But yeah, there's some random stuff I'll eat that...
It's just like, wow.
Yeah. But definitely not a majority of the time. This one says... Botox ? So I don't know if that's do we get it or our thoughts on it.
Well, we can answer both.
Okay, so I did definitely used to get it before. I don't even know how many years ago. And I loved it while I did it. And then I just felt like it wasn't for me anymore. Like that's not something I want to be putting into my body if I didn't need to. No, all these wrinkles are real life. But I do use the red light. Mm-hmm. And I know you have a red light.
I do.
But I have one also, just a little wand just for my face.
Yeah.
Because y'all know, we've already talked about my skincare regimen before.
87 steps.
I'm doing the most. So I added in the red light to my skincare. I feel like I haven't gotten any more wrinkles. I don't know if it like necessarily makes them go away, but like I feel pretty good for about to be 40.
Right.
Yeah. And you've never...
I've never done any Botox.
You considered it.
I did consider it.
And I'm like, you don't need it.
Everybody told me I didn't need it, and then this whole health thing happened to me, and so, I like dropped caffeine. So I'm just trying to eat better and do all these things. So like injecting.
Right. And we are not hating on anybody that does it.
I am not hating on Botox.
I've done it.
No, I think it looks great on people.
Exactly. And I love the look. But for me and for you, we're not.
For me, myself, and I'm not. I'm just going to like see what happens as I age. I still currently don't think I really need it.
No, you don't. You don't even have a wrinkle.
I do. You got to get up in there, but I see them. It's like definitely starting on the forehead because of these kids. But no, I don't blame anybody for getting it done. It looks good.
I'm going to take that question as we look like we do.
Oh.
So thank you. Okay, this one says, will y'all ever have a guy on the podcast? A single dad or a husband's perspective?
Possibly.
I mean, I'm down.
I'm down.
I'm like, it's called Mom Talk, but I think it would be nice to have a dad's perspective. He could be a husband or not a husband, but just a dad's perspective. Mm-hmm. My mom always described like men and women as like the yin to the yang.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm just at home yinning. Like,
no yang.
What would it be like, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would love to hear a dad's perspective if they would be on here. I mean, I know Jarrett would.
Jarrett would definitely be on here.
Yeah.
We'd have to like find a time to record with him and like kick my kids out of the house at the same time.
Yeah, that would be even harder.
But, yeah, Jarrett would definitely do it. And I think we have a few guy friends who would do it.
I do too. We haven't asked anybody, but
No.
I think we do. And also, if y'all know of anybody that wants to or you want to nominate, send them to us.
Yes, message us on
that
Instagram.
That would be fun. Okay. Are either of you on a special diet or do you not eat any certain types of food?
Well, Jordan doesn't eat much food. I mean, she eats plenty of food, but she doesn't eat a wide variety.
No. And I definitely, the follow-up question is, do either of you meal prep? I want to so badly. I feel like it's one of those mountains in front of me that I'm just like scared to get started on.
I used to meal prep, like when it was just me and Jarrett. And honestly, I could still do it because I would still just be prepping for us. I mean, I could do dinners and stuff too. But my kids, you know, that's kind of hit or miss. But
what did you meal prep before?
Jarrett did a lot of different diets back before we had kids.
Yeah, he has.
He was vegetarian for a year. He was vegan for a year. And he did paleo for a year.
Did you prep all those for him?
I did.
I'm not surprised that you did it. I just thought the whole time he was doing it.
I mean, he did help. He did contribute. I'm not saying I did it every single time, but majority of the time, yes.
Did you take on the diet he was doing?
No.
Okay.
I did paleo with him. We'll call it a modified paleo. Mm-hmm. Paleo doesn't want you to eat a potato.
Oh, I would be so sad.
But you can have a sweet potato, and I don't like sweet potatoes, so I'm like, I'm going to eat potatoes. Mm-hmm. That does not mean French fries, like
right.
Still not processed, but like a baked potato.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did do paleo with him. I did not do vegan or vegetarian.
But you've done gluten.
I have done gluten because I just feel better without it. My skin is clearer without it. I don't have like dandruff of all things without it. My cycles, I talked about that on here one time, very consistent and regular without gluten. So gluten-free definitely is beneficial.
What made you finally try to go gluten-free? Like what was the...
I was having a bunch of like stomach issues. I was
right.
at the GI doctor. She had me on a big elimination diet. It was 9 things that I eliminated for like a month.
That's right.
And that one was hard. But gluten was really kind of easy. They have so many substitutes and stuff now. I'm not perfect on that. And sometimes I'm just like, I'm going to eat a donut from Shipley's. Like,
yeah, if somebody brings them into work, gosh.
So I just know my face is going to break out.
Okay, so we're not currently meal prepping anything.
I'm not currently meal prepping, but with Jarrett's new job, I could definitely see getting back into that.
Like packing having breakfast already ready and packing a lunch?
Yeah, or like, you know, having dinner even like, I like to plan out more so than meal prep.
Like know what you're cooking each night?
Yeah. And when Jarrett was at the station, it really worked out because he'd be home for dinner for 2 nights, gone for dinner for 1 night. So the 2 dinners when he was home, those leftovers became lunch and dinner for his shift day.
Yeah, that's good.
So that really worked out. So we're just kind of going through a big whole change right now with his job and everybody getting used to that. But I could definitely go back to meal prepping now. I don't currently.
I don't know why I feel like it's such a huge thing for me. We talked about that with the like switching out products for healthier ones. I'm like, I don't know where to start, so I just won't do it.
Yeah.
But then I bought toothpaste and look at me go.
Wow.
So I could maybe do it.
I think you could.
I need like some pointers.
And you're fine to eat the same thing over and over, so it'd be super easy for you.
I love to pack the same thing every single day for lunch, so I could definitely do this for a while.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even necessarily have to do dinner because on the nights I have my kids, I'm home early enough to cook if we're not, you know, going to a sport. Mm-hmm. And then the nights they're not there, like, no, I'm just going to eat cereal.
Yeah.
I might need to look into this.
You could do it.
Get back on that. Okay. This says, do either of you drink? We really don't.
No.
I mean, we're not
anti-drinking.
We just have never been
drinkers.
Yeah. I don't keep any alcohol in my house. I don't drink beer. I don't drink beer at all. Like, I couldn't even tell you the last time I had a sip of wine, but I don't keep it.
Yeah, I don't keep it in my house. If we have a birthday party, we buy it for that because I provide
Yes.
alcohol at my kids' birthday parties.
Right.
But no, that's the only time we even buy it. It's not like a staple in our home. If I go to like a wedding or something, I feel like that's the only time I'm ever going to have a drink.
I did get those little like frozen pouches, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
From the Food Lion this summer, and had a couple out by the pool, but
yeah,
really that's it.
Yeah.
Just a little
like
frozen.
I could do a Truly or something, but...
Oh, you know what? I never even had one. Okay. This says... This is a statement maybe and a question. I know y'all joke about not having hobbies, but what do you really do for hobbies? But we're not joking.
Why do you think it's a joke? So we podcast as a hobby.
Yeah, this is why we started it.
We started a new hobby.
Right.
Y'all are just getting to hear about it.
Because we never do anything else. Like, people that love to, like, make art, jealous is not the right word, but, like, man, I wish, like, I had that talent.
I had that something.
Yeah. Because even when Emma needs to unwind, she will, like, paint. So does my mom. So seeing both of them do it, I'm like, that would stress me more. That's not it. That's not the one.
I think for me, another hobby, if you will, is cleaning. I like to, like, clean and organize things. Mm-hmm. More so on the organize.
Yeah, you definitely do.
I like to clean, but organize is more my thing. And I like to take hot baths.
I love a hot bath.
I think we said that before, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it doesn't matter if it's 100 degrees outside.
And I do love to read. Mm-hmm. It would be a little odd if I'm like, oh, I've got this downtime I'm going to read. It's like, if I'm waiting in car circle, I can read a little bit until we start moving. But that's when I read.
I don't have that time yet.
No.
Because I still have a kid in the car with me at
car
circle. But maybe I could read one day. I used to like to read, but I don't have the availability in my schedule right now for that.
Yeah.
I also really do, like, every night, my, like, bedtime rituals, if you will. Like, I lay on my acupressure mat. I do my red light. Like, all the things I do, the dry brushing.
Oh, yeah.
I just like my nighttime routine, if you want to consider that a hobby.
I think so. I love the red light now. So we got it at pretty much the same time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know how to use this thing. It's so bright. Like, I couldn't relax enough to do it. And you're like, that's the whole point. You need to relax.
Yeah, chill. Have
20 minutes of quiet time. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it again. I, like, literally returned it and bought it again.
No, I'm just laying there. And, you know, you can, like, they say if you're having, like, a certain... How do you use yours?
Okay, so...
Walk me through this.
Let me walk you. I have a beanbag in my room.
Okay.
At the foot of my bed.
Good.
So I sit in that low, and I put the red light, like, close to my stomach, kind of in my lap.
Yeah.
And I literally put my shirt over it.
Okay, good. So it's not blinding you.
Yeah, so it's not blinding me, but I don't feel so restricted that I just have to lay there.
Okay. Very similar to mine. I lay in my bed on my side, and, you know, they say to focus it, like, you could put it on your face. You could put it on your stomach. You could put it on your leg if you, like, whatever. I am, like, laying topless in my bed.
Well, it does say to do it with no clothes.
It does.
Also.
And I'm, like, laying on my left side because, like, for me, like, my heart and my lungs are obviously the priority since they're, like, not working 100%. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I just, like, sit super close to it, and it just gets so warm.
Yeah. It's so cozy.
I have fallen asleep with it before.
Oh, okay.
And I only do 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Sometimes I'll do longer. Like last week, one day I didn't feel very good. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, let me just see what happens if I do this for 45 minutes. So I turned it to 45, set the timer, fell asleep, and I felt great the next day.
You were healed.
Now, was it just a coincidence? I don't know, but
the pages of benefits on the red light are crazy.
No, it's wild.
So I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything I'm necessarily, like, pinpointing to work on.
Preventative.
Yeah, preventative. And so I feel like I'm just doing, like, my abdomen, chest area.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I already have the mini one for my face, so I'm good. Unless I need to roll over and cook on my back.
Well, you know what? Okay. So I did ask Jared, I was like, hey, I need you to, like, hold this while I roll over. He's like, why are you rolling over? I was like, Okay, tell me where your lungs are.
Right.
They're like literally like front and back.
So we got to get them both.
So I don't know which side's a little crappier than the other on me. I just know my lungs don't work, so I'm rolling over.
So do you roll over every time?
No, because I fall asleep.
Okay. You're at least getting the
So
front.
I hope whatever's in the front is what needs the most help.
Okay. For sure, one more question is, how's back to school going for everyone? And we have a 3-day weekend coming up soon. And yes to that 3-day weekend. Like,
Yeah.
I told y'all the start of school has already taken me out. It's not bad. Everybody's had a really good back to school, like super easy transition. Everybody's happy. It's just getting back into the routine and being busy a lot more. So they're all good, and I cannot wait. When I have my kids extra, I feel like it feels like a vacation or something to me. So getting them back Friday and having them off of school Monday, I cannot wait.
Yep.
I'm pumped.
That's exciting.
What about Mason in school?
Mason's had good back to school. He loves his teacher. He's so proud of himself because every day at Car Circle, he finds my car.
Aw, yes.
He's like, because that was his biggest, I think, anxiety about going to school at all, was like, how am I going to know, like, it's you in the afternoons?
Right.
And I'm like, you'll know my car. He's like, oh, what if somebody else has your car? I'm like, valid. What if they do?
That is a great question. He is so smart.
So he's been able to find my car every day. And he is very relieved about that. And still, every time he hops in the car, he's like, I found your car. I'm like, okay, great. How was your day?
Do they wait outside or inside?
So somebody's like out texting, I guess, the numbers.
Oh, okay.
And they send them out
in like
to
waves.
like different areas. There's different colored cones.
That's what we have too, the cones. Okay.
So, yeah, he's had no problems finding my car. He's not gotten in with a stranger yet. So,
What an angel.
yeah, and he loves his teacher.
Are y'all doing anything for the 3-day?
I'm going to the casino.
Oh my God.
So,
You said you were going to take me next time, Victoria.
well, you have got your kids.
I know.
So they sent me this thing in the mail, and they give you this stuff called free play, which is like they are giving you money to play with.
Then we're going.
So they gave me $35 for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But on 2 of those days, they randomly doubled it to $70 of free play.
Oh my gosh.
I know, so I have to go.
You do? Wait, is Jarrett going with you?
Friday, my mom is going to watch the kids. We're going to have a date, go to the casino. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday, I'm going with my aunt.
Oh my gosh.
While Jarrett watches the kids.
Yes.
And then Sunday, my parents are going to watch the kids for a couple hours. Just Jarrett and I can go for just a few hours, nothing crazy. And then Monday, I don't have fully worked out yet, but I'm going with somebody on Monday. Jarrett will have the kids because he's out of school too since he's a teacher.
Right. I cannot wait to hear how much you win.
I cannot either because last time I did pretty good.
Okay, obviously we need to go back to the hobby situation, and gambling is your hobby.
Gambling.
Why did we not think of this?
Casino, scratch offs, that's my hobby.
That could be a lucrative one.
Sometimes it is. That's my real part-time job.
That is her real part-time job. Okay, we do have time for another question. And it says, have either of you ever considering fostering or adoption? Because it seems like you both love kids so much.
Well, we do both love kids.
We do.
I have never considered that for me and my family.
I have considered adoption because after the divorce, I felt like, oh, I'm not going to have any more kids of my own, but I love kids so much. Like, I would absolutely do that. But then it got harder because I felt like my kids felt like they didn't see me enough as it was. I didn't feel like I could add to that.
Did you feel like adding a person who would be with you all the time would make your kids feel a way that they didn't get to be with you all the time?
Yeah. Obviously, I'm putting my kids first. If I was adopting a child, they would also be my child.
Yeah.
But I just didn't think I could step into doing that if my kids were not 100% happy all the time. Like, I never even asked them about it. I did not think at their age they would be able to handle that.
Yeah. I mean, that is a big transition.
Yeah.
When they were already going through a big transition, too.
Yeah. I didn't think I could add.
It could just be where I am at in life with how young my kids are. I know some people feel like the need when they have newborns to still adopt, and that's great. For me, Mason, I've talked about different things with him. I don't think right now would be the time. It's not like I'm like, oh no kid can ever live with us. It's not like that. It's just, it's not on my heart to do it right now.
Yes. And I think it could be still on mine. Like, I have not taken that off the table, like, once my kids are older.
Right.
Okay, so thank you all so much for sending in all these questions. Those were really fun to answer, and we'll do some more another time. Don't forget to follow us on Apple and Spotify and on our Instagram page. Thanks.
Bye.